And Democrats have been calling these riots peaceful. I mean, Gavin Newsom has been posting all over X constantly. He recently wrote, "California, don't give Donald Trump what he wants. Speak up, stay peaceful, stay calm, do not use violence and respect the law enforcement officers that are trying their best to keep the peace." So he's acknowledging that there is violence in the same breath as saying stay peaceful. And Karen Bass, who you mentioned, went on CNN making her case for troops to be withdrawn.
This is intentional chaos. You know, I had talked to representatives of the Trump administration earlier on to tell them that the Los Angeles Police Department could control things that were happening here and that there was no need to federalize troops. And so to have this here is really just a provocation and something that was not needed in our city.
You know, it's amazing watching Karen Bass being proven wrong in real time. She's on CNN saying that it's peaceful. Meanwhile, there's vision showing just how badly the riots have escalated. What do you make of the two leaders, Bass and Newsom?
Well, you know, to be fair to Governor Newsom and Mayor Bass, I guess since most of the cars that they've blown up are self-driving cars, theoretically, yeah. I mean, I guess they're not hurting. Less people are getting hurt. They're just burning the cars. And since it's AI driving it, I guess less people are getting hurt in their book. No, it's insane. I mean, it's just like the president of Mexico telling the ICE needs to stand down here in America. It doesn't make sense. Why do foreign countries want to dictate what our government and military and police force can do here? And why does Karen Bass and Governor Gavin Newsom want to lie and obfuscate the truth of what's happening in their state? Like, it's just so obvious that the rest of the country looks at this and it's just appalling. And they are seeing the same exact footage that we're seeing, and yet they want to look right in our faces and lie and say it's not a big deal. It's just mostly peaceful. When we can see the cars that are on fire, we can see the people getting shot with non-lethal bean bags. It's not a nothing burger. It's a very serious issue. And I think there's going to be more unrest like this in the country. But because LA is such a Hispanic dominated area, I think this is going to be the epicenter of even all the future protests when it comes to the immigration conflict here in America.
And it seems that the Democrats just have such a big issue with ICE agents doing their job. We know that Donald Trump promised that he was going to deport illegal immigrants, and now the Democrats just don't want this to go ahead, I suppose. Here's Gavin Newsom saying that some of the illegals that are rioting in the street are just here to live their lives and pay taxes.
Get your hands off these poor people. They're just trying to live their lives, man. Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes, been here 10 years. The fear, the horror, the hell is this guy? Come after me, arrest me, let's just get it over with. Tough guy. You know, I don't give a damn. But I care about my community, I care about this community. The hell are they doing? These guys need to grow up, they need to stop, and we need to push back. And I'm sorry to be so clear, but that kind of bloviating is exhausting. So Tom, arrest me. Let's go.
And when we hear from Karen Bass, she seems to lump in illegal immigrants with legal migrants as if there's no distinction.
We are going to fight for all Angelenos, regardless of when they got here, whether they have papers or not. We are a city of immigrants, and this impacts hundreds of thousands of Angelenos.
So, Alex, papers or not, it doesn't matter, according to Karen Bass.
Yeah, I mean, these people are absolute lunatics. I mean, they want to actually give health care to illegal immigrants instead of giving it to tax-paying Americans in California. That's how absurd things have gotten. So once again, I'm not shocked at all. And of course, Gavin Newsom wants to paint these Hispanics that have been here for 10 or 20 years as victims. Yet they've been here 10 or 20 years and they haven't even bothered to take care of their immigration status whatsoever. So it just doesn't make sense why they have so many excuses for illegal immigration, when in reality, all of the people that have to come here and immigrate legally, they feel, like every bit of effort that they put in was meaningless. So you're actually taking away from the, gravitas of becoming an American citizen the right way. Yeah. You're denigrating those people for doing it the right way, and you're encouraging people to do it the wrong way, which is just absolutely pitiful when it comes to a country like America. We should encourage people to come here the right way and not come here illegally and setting up their family for failure in 10 years when the immigration policies change and all of a sudden you're afraid that you might get deported. This is a bad situation, but the Democrats are to blame for setting it up like this.
Well, moving on to another big story in the United States. Gymnast Biles is facing pretty big backlash after slamming women's sports advocate Riley Gaines in a heated post on X. Biles wrote, "You're truly sick. All of this campaigning because you lost a race. Straight up sore loser. You should be uplifting the trans community and perhaps finding a way to make sports inclusive or creating a new avenue where trans feel safe in sports, maybe a transgender category in all sports, but instead you bully them. One thing for sure is no one in sports is safe with you around. Bully someone your own size, which ironically would be a male." Now, this post has drawn widespread criticism, especially as Riley Gaines has been such a big supporter for safety for women in sport. She lost to a biological male a few years ago. What's your take on all of this?
Well, the reason why this is such a big issue, it's not about being progressive or fairness, because it's an asymmetrical problem. If you look at this, why is it always male to female athletes that are going into women's sports and dominating? Yet there is not one example of a female to male going into male sports and dominating. And on top of that, all male sports are open to the best women. You can play college football if you're the best female kicker. There's been women that have tried. So this is an asymmetrical problem that only affects female sports. And that's why it needs to be shut down. But Biles wants to continue to do this as some sort of weird virtue signal because she's probably told to by her Hollywood agent and her NFL husband. So anything she says, you can take with a grain of salt. And she's a great gymnast. Don't get me wrong, but she could actually be a freedom fighter for some of the terrible things that, Larry Nassar and just some of the horrible things that happened to the gymnast. Instead of being a champion for other victims like herself, she wants to go and attack Riley Gaines, who was a victim of Leah Thomas. So it's just kind of victim shaming. It's really sad. She should be lifting women up instead of putting them down to help transgenders in women's sports. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah, well said, Alex. Look, finally, if there's any doubt about just how popular the president is right now, we have to take a look at how the crowd goes absolutely wild at this UFC where Donald Trump walks out with Dana White. I mean, look at that. The crowd is roaring.
Yeah, but you know who wasn't roaring? Elon Musk was crying watching that on Twitter. He's just, "Oh, I miss you, Donald." I think he retweeted him today. So, yeah, no, that was all, it was all electricity in that arena. But Elon Musk, he felt like, his prom date left him at the prom, or he didn't get a date to the prom. He definitely felt left out. He had a lot of FOMO seeing that on his Twitter feed last night.
Are they going to patch things up, do you think?
I mean, I think that would be the smartest thing for Elon Musk. I mean, Donald Trump obviously trusted the guy, let him in his inner circle, but you hear some of these stories about Elon Musk assaulting people, and it just seems like, personally, if I was just judging it, it seems like Elon was the more volatile one of the two, and that it would be his responsibility, I think, and I don't know the inner workings, but I believe that it would be on Elon to repair that relationship. And I think Donald Trump has had public feuds with lots of people and repair that relationship. So I wouldn't put it past him to actually repair things. But once again, I think it would have to be Elon that would have to spearhead that if they had a reconciliation.
Yeah, I agree with you. Alex Stein, thank you so much for joining us on Power Hour. Great to talk to you.
Always a pleasure. Talk to you guys again soon.